that out of the way, let's talk about main topic number 5. And main topic number 5 kind of follows a topic we were discussing yesterday. And that yesterday was the launch of Peacock, NBC Universal streaming platform. And, I did like some first impressions. I did like a little mini review. If you want to watch those, they're on the Entrepreneur Vlogs channel, separated so you don't have to dig through yesterday's podcast to get to them. But the question remains, how did they do, and was the world hungry for another streaming service? And we got some very interesting information, because Peacock's launch day rankings topped Quibi, which is not surprising. But it also topped HBO Max, which is surprising to me because I actually think HBO Max had a lot more going for it going in than Peacock did. I mean, not the least of which a better name. But Disney Plus still leads. And the funny thing is that Peacock's launch day was very impressive despite the fact that there was a glitch with the Android app, whereas Peacock was missing from the Google Play search results. So the fact that it did very well even without this, because not being in Google Play is a very, very big deal. So that shows that I guess people were hungry for another streaming service, especially one that technically is free to a certain extent. I'm sure that helped a lot. But it might have actually beat Disney if not for one thing. It wasn't on Fire TV or Roku. Neither was HBO Max for that matter. And that has begged the question, why aren't these services winding up on Roku and Fire TV? Clearly there was a common denominator there. Well, here's what it is. The dispute on why Peacock and HBO Max are not on Amazon Fire TV and they're not on Roku has to do with data and advertising. Now, here's how it works. The companies go on these platforms, and the platforms take a percentage of, the subscription and the data. So usually the subscription is like they take 20% of that. So, you pay $7 for Disney Plus a month. Well, Roku and Amazon Fire gets like $1.40 of that, something like that, But they also control a huge part of the advertising. They have access to the data, they collect that data, and they use it for their own advertising services. Because again, these companies, they're not making money selling you the top boxes. They're making money with the advertising, and particularly the data. I mean, it's been said multiple times, we've actually said it on this very show, data is the new gold. The more data you have, the more effectively you can sell your products, control your consumers, and all that jazz. Well, Peacock and HBO Max, according to this article from The Verge, really, really want to take some of that back. They want to have more control of their services, and apparently Amazon and Roku just aren't playing games. So, here they've listed like a couple of examples of which they didn't actually sort it. So here's the thing. In Roku's case, the holdup comes down to two revenue portals. The cut Roku takes from signups and something referred to as ad inventory. The first one is simple enough. Roku reportedly takes 20% of signup fees. Apple does a similar thing, taking 30% of signup fees and developers in the App Store. The second one, ad inventory, means that Roku takes a percentage of ads that comes through the app. On Roku's website, the company states that a channel controls 70% of its ad inventory, with Roku controlling 30%. For a more niche app, the ad inventory cut might be worth the payoff of being available on Roku and having access to nearly 40 million customers. That's not the case with major players like NBC Universal and Warner Media, though. NBC Universal's team doesn't want to give up such a substantial cut of ads, with negotiations centering around a number closer to 15%. NBC Universal is also hesitant about connecting Peacock with third-party ad tech software it can't control. For those of you who are not, NBC Universal built an entirely new form of advertising tech explicitly for Peacock. This helps the company track user data, sell more hyper-targeted ads, and increase overall revenue. Because keep in mind, Peacock is free. The vast majority of people will use the free option. A few might pay a little extra for the premium content, and then fewer still, although I guess I fall into that category, will pay an additional fee to not have the ads for the most part. For those people, this data tracker that they've developed isn't very useful. But since the vast majority will be doing the free option, it's very useful. Well, they want to control more of that, where they have to give up like a huge control of that to Roku, and in fact Roku would be benefiting from most of the data collected, and that's what's holding them up on that end. And with Amazon Fire TV, it's a very, very similar thing. So here's the thing. But there is an exception to this. Here's why they won't be part of the Amazon thing, because Warner Media and NBC Universal don't want to be part of the Amazon channel's ecosystem and giving up a cut of their subscription fees, but they do want to be on Fire TV devices. Now they're in the process of trying to create more favorable deals. One example of what it could look like is what Warner Media was able to do with Apple. Prior to HBO Max's launch, Warner Media and Apple struck a new deal that removed HBO from Apple TV channels and launched HBO Max as its own app. Compromises were made. Apple lost access to HBO in its channel section and some of that data, but it was able to offer HBO Max. Warner Media could offer HBO Max to Apple customers while maintaining control over the streaming experience and access to user data. Here's the thing that's going to be very interesting. Disney Plus is the only streamer so far that's been allowed to bypass Amazon's channels ecosystem and still stream on Amazon Fire TV devices. Right before Disney Plus launch in November, Disney and Amazon came to the kind of agreement that NBC Universal and Warner Media seemed to be looking for. Disney Plus could stream on all Amazon Fire TV devices, but retain the luxury of not being part of the channel's ecosystem. Disney would benefit from the additional signups and still ensure they had full control over the viewing experience and user data. Now, why did Disney get this pass? I think it's pretty obvious. It's because you don't mess with the mouse. Seriously, you don't. Disney just has the kind of properties that people will switch devices if Disney's not on it. I mean, think about it. Whenever Disney and Amazon get into like a little pissing contest about how much of a cut of the DVDs and Blu-rays Amazon is going to get, and Amazon takes them off the pre-order site, yes, that does hurt Disney to a certain extent, but there's so many more people who it's like, oh, I want Avengers Endgame, I can't get it on Amazon? All right, I'll buy it at Walmart or Target or Best Buy. Heck, I'll even go to Fry's if I have to. Disney has that kind of power, but what is on Peacock, I hate that name, or HBO Max that would convince people to basically give up on their Roku player and go to Apple or Chromecast or something like that? Not a whole lot, especially now that Game of Thrones is over. If Game of Thrones still had like another season coming out, that would probably be leverage enough that they would have given more HBO Max a pass. But it's over. And a lot of people didn't even like the ending for that matter. So basically, the reason Peacock and HBO Max are not on these services is money. These companies all want to control the data. In fact, here's the thing I'm going to dare say. If Peacock and HBO Max cannot maximize the data for advertisers on these apps, then I don't think these apps are considered a success. Again, they're not making money when they sell you a subscription for $10 a month and you can watch as many things as you want. You think they're going to make money on you because you pay $10 a month to watch Scoob? I mean, here's the thing. I just watched on Peacock already I Am Big Bird and several episodes of The Twisted Tales of Felix the Cat in 21 grams. I'm actually keeping a spreadsheet, and at the end of the year, we're going to look at over how much money I've saved by having Peacock. But if I were to like rent this stuff, I would have had to have paid, NBC Universal $20 in digital rental fees. They're not making money off the subscription. Where they are making money is the advertising. And if they can't control the data, then these services don't have a whole lot of use for them. And that is what's going on right now. And likewise, if Amazon and Roku can't have that user data, then their services aren't making money either because they have the boxes, but they don't make money off the boxes. So it's a very unusual dance that they're doing right now, and it's just going to get more and more convoluted the more and more streaming becomes a thing. But anyway, I would like to ask, what do you think about this? Does this make sense to you? And would any of you who are Roku and Amazon Fire TV owners? Would you get a new device just for Peacock and HBO Max, or maybe one or the other? I don't know. I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly.